I'm just going to test this mic today. I don't know if anyone can hear me. Let me know when you come online. Good morning from Saigon. Let me know. Let me know once you come on whether you can hear this mic or not. I'm not too sure. Maybe give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, or some ears icons. Let me try and set this up a bit better. Hey there, I can see that someone's online. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me with this mic. Hey Daz, how you going? Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, let me just set it up a little bit better. Bear with me. Where are you coming from, Daz? Are you inside? Oh, you're in Loman, right? Okay, that's amazing. That's good. Because we've got a little bit of breeze here at the moment and it would muck around with my phone mic. So I'm really happy. These are really cheapo mics. I've had these for years and they're called Boya, B-O-Y-A. So if anyone's sort of doing a little bit of content and they want to improve their audio and don't want to spend much money, I think they cost me like 200,000 dong or something, 250,000 dong. So the clarity's really good, believe it or not. Just a moment. I just saw you. I just saw you as slightly hungover. That's the Vietnam life, hey? Let me just pin this on here. Bear with me. So Daz, Loman, tell us a little bit about Loman. I know that that province is actually very big. I found that out about a year and a half ago when I did a motorbike trip around the Mekong, and I had the bright idea to drive from Dau Dop, which is on the Cambodian border, all the way back to Saigon in one day, and it was the night before a public holiday here, and it was an absolute nightmare. I've got this long lead here. I'm going to clip this mic onto me. I'd planned to do this live stream while there was no one in the garden. 10 minutes ago, there was absolutely no one out here, and there was no construction going on. So, then I went upstairs, got my gear, came down, and suddenly there were like 10 or 15 people and an angle grinder going. Such are the sounds of Vietnam life. Hello, Tom, is it? Tom, thanks for joining. I'm just trying to work out my audio here with this lead. I've got a tangle of cable here. I've got to make sure I remember to unclip too if I start to walk around. Okay. How's that? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Apologies for the scratching if that's going on. Okay, there we go. That should be okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Okay, so Saturday morning, about 9 o'clock here in Ho Chi Minh City. My name's Matt. If you haven't seen my channel before, I've been living in Ho Chi Minh City since 2010. And I live in Ho Chi Minh City, and my channel's about, I guess, in a broad sense, is about my life here in Vietnam. So please feel welcome to fire away with any sort of questions that you have about Vietnam. Of course, within reason. I like to keep my channel family friendly, generally. So Daz, if you're still there, let us know a little bit about Long An. Which part of Long An are you watching from? Because Long An is extremely large. It's probably one of the largest provinces, I think, in Vietnam. And, I hope that construction isn't annoying you too much. So yeah, I just wanted to come on live today. I wanted to do it a little bit more spontaneously. It's a beautiful day here in Saigon. It's probably about 25, somewhere between 25 and 30 degrees. Rainy season, but we're almost through July already. And I think we've only had about 2 days with rain. And when I say rain, I mean just, for 30 minutes or so, 30 minutes, maximum an hour. So if anyone's planning to come to Ho Chi Minh City, so obviously in the south of the country, anytime soon, you should be in for some pretty good weather, which is kind of cool. Anyway, the rainy season doesn't really interrupt your travel plans so much. There we go. I think I'm kind of set up now. Dimitar, yeah, there's always a belt sander in Vietnam or intermittent jackhammering. Yeah, actually, unfortunately, it hasn't been intermittent for the last 3 weeks. I think after the end of the financial year, I think the taxes were supposed to be in about a month or so ago. People are spending money on construction, and this jackhammering, if you can hear it, that's been going on for weeks, and actually technically they're not supposed to do it on a Saturday in this complex. So they're either breaking they are breaking the regulations, but also maybe someone's getting a little bit of something under the table in order to be able to do it. Yeah, it's something you don't really get too used to, is it? Daz, in Gan Duc, is it, at the moment? Yeah, it's a very large province. Yeah, I think Gan Duc is south of where I am here in what was the old District 7. And Long An skirts around the western side of Ho Chi Minh City, I think. So perhaps, Daz, you're probably heading down towards... what's it called? Go Com or My Tho, in that sort of area, I think, yeah. So how are you getting back to Ho Chi Minh City today, Daz? And what time are you leaving? I'm pretty rapt that this mic works, actually. I should have thought about that a lot earlier. So there's been a few changes in Ho Chi Minh City recently. Of course, one of the main ones is the change in the naming of locations. So there's no longer districts in Ho Chi Minh City. So if you're not familiar with Ho Chi Minh City, I think we had about 24 districts or something like that until the 1st of July, and now they've abolished the districts and gone with a kind of I don't know what it is, kind of wards, sort of major wards, and then within those those wards, there are other wards as well. But no one seems to really be caring too much. And I guess with everything being digitised pretty much these days, especially with ride-hailing apps and delivery sort of systems and stuff like that, I don't think it's going to make much difference because you can pin your location inside the app and people seem to find you very quickly anyway. There might be a little bit of disruption to mail, to the post, which is nothing new in Vietnam. It's almost impossible to get a letter or a postcard delivered to you. Let's not even talk about on time. So, yeah, it's going to probably impact the mail delivery system, of course. So my advice would be just to pay that little bit extra and go with someone like DHL or something like that. Daz rode here on the scooter, hopefully leaving in a few hours. What do you mean, hopefully? Hey? Aren't you in control of your own destination? Your own destiny? Wouldn't leave it too late. It's getting pretty hot already. Yeah. I guess it's not too far. Gan Duc isn't too far from here really, but it is a Saturday, so you might encounter a bit of traffic. And typically I find that the earlier you leave, the better when you're on the motorbike. But you will definitely be needing a beer after that. And a good wash, probably. So yeah, if you've got any questions about Vietnam and Ho Chi Minh City, let me know. What else did I want to say? I've been pretty busy with some of my, with doing videos recently. So I've just uploaded 3, I think, in the past week, or 4 maybe in the past week. And yeah, they've been good. They haven't got so much traction, but I'm enjoying the process more. The ones where I walk around the city, meet people, try out some local food and stuff like that. I'm really enjoying the process, and the editing process is much, much better as well. So yeah, it just makes things easier. That means that I can then put out sort of 3, well, this week it was like almost 3 videos in a week, so that was kind of cool. So I plan to do a little bit more of that, even though they don't seem to be that popular with people. But the people who do watch them seem to like them a lot. And as I mentioned, I enjoy the process of making those sorts of videos. So I'm going to keep doing those. I might keep doing the odd sort of travel update or sort of newsy type of update as well. And sort of work on doing more sort of hiking sort of stuff, or walks around the city, or walks out into different areas. I'm thinking about doing a trip down into the Mekong soon, finally. So yeah, look out for some of those videos. Hopefully I'll get to do a few of those down in some different towns in the Mekong. Does wore shorts on the ride here, rookie mistake. Okay, yeah. I wear shorts usually, but lots of sunscreen. Lots and lots of sunscreen. It's a little bit dangerous though, isn't it? You know, you can have things fly up and hit you on the shins, you know, so it's, you know, wouldn't be such a bad idea to wear sort of shin guards as well if you're doing long distances on a motorbike. But yeah, I usually just wear a t-shirt and shorts, you know, and have a jacket handy, especially for this time of year when it's rainy season. Oh, Daz, okay, you forgot about the sunscreen. The upside about that is that the sun's not as harsh here as it is in Australia, and probably by tomorrow you'll just have a tan, whereas in Australia you would blister up and not be able to move for a week and then peel. But yeah, you gotta get that sunscreen on. Make sure you do it today. What else has been happening? Not a lot has been happening. I've been spending a fair bit of time editing, which drives me mental. Um, it's a pretty long process for me. So I've been doing that, and as I mentioned earlier, just sort of thinking about my trip down into the Mekong. So I don't really know when I'm going to do it yet, probably next month, and how I'm going to do it. I've actually finally got my Australian license delivered. I got it delivered to my brother's house, and now I'm just waiting for him to send it to me. So I'm looking forward to that, and then I'll be able to get my Vietnamese driver's license. Yeah, so looking forward to that. So I'm not too sure sort of exactly how I'm going to do this trip coming up, but it's going to be a good opportunity for me to do a lot of content and do a lot of content quickly. I shouldn't say content, should I? I don't really like that word content. I mean, I've been doing content creation for, I don't know, 10 years here in Vietnam. So videos. So it'll be a really good opportunity for me to do videos and to give viewers and you guys an opportunity to see something different from my perspective for a change, rather than just in Saigon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that and to meeting some interesting people down there in the Mekong. Very different communities, and going to some places that I haven't been to before. So look out for that. Yeah, so a beautiful day here in Ho Chi Minh City. I'm just in the garden at my place, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go live, something a little bit different on a Saturday morning, to see if people are awake or people are wanting to watch something about Vietnam while they're having lunch maybe in Australia. I think it's probably about lunchtime in Australia. Probably late evening or mid-evening in the US, and the UK, I think most people will be in bed at the moment, I'd say, but hopefully they'll see this afterwards. So yeah, fire away with any questions that you have about coming to Vietnam, what's happening in Vietnam at the moment, and I'll do my best to answer them. That's my view just there. So Daz, have you got any other tips for anyone wanting to do motorbike trips in Vietnam? Give us hot tips for travelling at this time of year on motorbikes in the Mekong. It would be good to hear your perspective as well. Daz, when's the new airport opening up? Yeah, don't know. I think it's the end of next year, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to make a difference. I posted, don't have a beer. Okay, that's one tip, is it? Yeah. Oh dear. You might need something a bit stronger to get you through the day. The new airport, it seems to be going okay. I see a lot of videos online with updates. There's some really cool ones actually where they get drone footage of it. So they've put down the runways. I think the main terminal it's just about got a roof on it, I think. It looks pretty awesome. So who knows? I think it's on time or it's even ahead of schedule. So that might be a first for Vietnam. Daz, police are everywhere. As you know, zero alcohol. Yeah, seen a few police doing random breath testing and then pulled over. Yep. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not. I mean, obviously, you know, it's one thing to get caught and to get a hefty fine, but you know, the main thing is if you have an accident and hurt someone or kill someone, you know, that'd be pretty hard to get over, wouldn't it? So you're better off, especially with the cheap ride hailing apps and stuff like that they've got these days, you know. Yeah, it's not worth taking the risk, is it? And it's got to be better. It has to be better. I've seen reports, I don't know how true they are, about how hospitals are seeing fewer accident victims from drink driving accidents. So I think it's pretty good. I think it's a little bit too harsh that you're supposed to have zero blood alcohol, but that's the law. You know, I can't see a problem with having 1 or 2 beers after work and then driving home. And when I say 1 or 2, I mean 1 or 2. But that's the law. So, you know, in this case, yeah, you're better off abiding by that and being super careful. And there are just so many different options for getting yourself around, cheap options. So it's just not worth the risk. Police are everywhere. Oh, maybe there's a public holiday coming up, is there? Are there any public holidays? August? Yeah, there's a public holiday coming up in August, I think. But maybe down around Loman, yeah, maybe there are a lot of police at the moment, hey? There's been a couple of big road accidents too with those sleeper buses. Just trying to get the right light. Daz, stay calm on the roads. Don't get frustrated with the way the Vietnamese drive. Just learn to accept, even if they're driving in the wrong side. You know, the big one for me is that one, the wrong side of the road thing. You know, you only have to look away for a split second when the coast is clear. You know, maybe you'll look down at something, maybe you have a drink or something hanging off your handlebars, you pick it up, look up, and there's someone coming at you from the other direction. It's one of the worst things, I think. You know, you can handle things when everyone's going the same way, but when you suddenly get someone coming at you at speed from the opposite direction, it's very common, isn't it, down in the Mekong as well, because those highways are, you know, the main thoroughfares for everybody, for local traffic and tourist traffic and trucks and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a good one. Da Vinci, thanks for joining. I wouldn't recommend those sleeper buses. No, I've been on one in my entire time here. And that was a short trip. That was from here to Phan Thiet during the day as well. So I feel like during the day is going to be a little bit safer, isn't it? I think, depending on your driver. But yeah, I can't stand them. People are calling them coffins on wheels. Yeah, oh, there you go, Daz, yeah. I call coffins on wheels, yeah. They're super popular, aren't they, among the budget travellers? Obviously, for that reason, they're generally cheap to go on, and they're often up in the mountainous regions as well. And you know what traffic's like up in those places. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I don't know why people do it. Well, I do know why they do it. They do it because it's cheap. Da Vinci, Vietnam is going through some transformative reform too. Yeah, quite a bit. I think I just mentioned just when I started this that in Ho Chi Minh City, for example, we no longer have districts. So we had 24 I think it was 24 districts. So now we've got new addresses, although no one can really tell me precisely what my address is at the moment. But I mentioned that, that's not really going to affect us too much, given that so much of life here is digitised at the moment. With apps, you can pin your location. So if you're travelling somewhere and you want to get picked up or whatever, it's very easy, as you all know, to... there's some little kids here blowing bubbles. It's very easy to show the person picking you up where your precise location is. I was in District 8 just a couple of days ago, and just having a quiet beer by the canal in a very non-touristy, non-foreign location, and they found me. They found me within minutes. It was amazing. And also food delivery as well. It's even with the changes in addresses, your pizza gets delivered. Stephen, g'day Stephen. If possible, use the train or a private car. Yeah, why not? Why not? I think what happens is that people get in, a lot of travellers, I suppose, get into that situation where they try to pack too much in and, maybe come for 2 weeks and want to go north to south or something like that. And yeah, they're rushing it, and as you know, with the train system here, I think we only have about one train. Well, we have one train line, railway line. Hello. Wow. Cool. Yeah, so it takes a long time to get anywhere, doesn't it, on the train? But it's a good experience. It's a pretty good experience. And I think if I did a long trip on the train, I would have to book out the whole cabin, book out the 4 beds, I think, so I could get some sleep and some privacy. Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. One of the kids has got stickers. I think she's going around sticking them everywhere, as you do. Oh yeah, I think she might. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
I have this ability to attract, even though I don't have kids of my own, I have this ability to attract little kids somehow. I don't know. Maybe it's just my uncle vibes. I don't know. I'm not going to put you on camera. Da Vinci, as a brand new citizen of Vietnam, what's the first thing you'd cheekily challenge or change in Saigon? Oh, that's a good question. Cheekily challenge or change? I might have to think about that one. As a brand new citizen of Vietnam. Where's Grandma? Where's your grandma? Where is she? Oh, there she is, over there. Yeah, she's over there.
Mommy.
Okay, I'm trying to distract her. Oops. Okay, yeah, what would I change? I don't know. I think I think as a foreigner, if you come here to live and you have this thing in your mind that you want to change things, I think sometimes that's when people run into difficulties and they get kind of burnt out. I often say to my wife, I'm like, you can't change the culture. When things happen, and they invariably happen here, and they're just things that you can't really wrap your head around, and there's a lot of time wasting that goes on, which I have a problem with. You just can't change it. But given this is a hypothetical, one of the things I would change would be just in Saigon would be to clear. I'm trying to manage things here. No, you're not allowed to go on. You're not allowed to go on. I'm trying to keep her off camera. One of the things I would change would be get the motorbikes off the footpaths. Make it more pedestrian friendly. If you've seen some of my videos recently, I've been doing a lot of walking, and it can be a real hindrance, and it's also dangerous as well. So that would be one thing. Or make certain areas freer from motorbikes being parked on the footpaths, or pavements, as you'd say in the States. That would be one thing. That would just make the city so much more livable. And that wouldn't be that hard to do. It would have to be police, I guess, and that's where you tend to run into a few issues. But that would be one sort of little simple thing that I would change. The other obvious one would be just rubbish disposal, garbage disposal and stuff like that. We've got a massive issue with plastics and getting rid of rubbish, so that, something. I think small businesses like, I just had an orange juice before I came online, and the amount of plastic that you get for just one drink, one use plastic, it's still an issue. The memo didn't get here somehow. So that would be another thing, trying to encourage people like me to bring my own plastic cup or something like that. I know that would be a battle, but I think it would make a huge difference. Plastic bags as well. You just constantly, even when I go shopping, I'll take one of these canvas bags. If I just go down to the local shop to buy milk or whatever, they'll still want to give it to me in a plastic bag. Even though they can see that it's just this automatic response for when a customer comes into your shop. You've got to give it to them, whatever they're buying, in a plastic bag. So that needs to change as well. So that's a real mindset shift, I guess. Da Vinci, agreed. Lots of traffic accidents associated those two. Yeah, there's a lot of parking on busy streets on the corners, so that it creates all these blind spots. Construction sites that have large fences up on corners, which create blind spots. It's quite hair-raising, even when you're walking as well. It's just like, God. Daz, so the paving that they are currently doing in Ho Chi Minh City, is that for pedestrians or just an extra scooter lane? Yeah, I think it might be the second one. It'll make your ride along the footpath less bumpy, I think. Yeah. I don't know if they've finished it yet. I haven't been going into District 1 so much lately. So, although I may go in there today, right, Daz? If you're not worn out from your motorbike ride. But yeah, it'd be a shame for all that hard work to just get ridden over again, wouldn't it? So yeah, that would be one thing. I hope that answers your question, Da Vinci or Da Vinci. Thanks for asking. So we're looking in the it's sort of the southern direction. In that direction is the Mekong, So blue skies at the moment. Usually our rain comes in from that direction, so sort of southwest, I think. That's facing. So usually I look out my window and look in that direction to see if there's any rain coming. And there hasn't been. We've had about 3 days with a little bit of rain recently. So I've got a feeling the rainy season's going to dump later in the year, especially when the typhoon season hits the Philippines. We usually get sort of the edges of that.
Hello.
And then hello.
Hello.
I
come here.
And then Da Nang. Come here, huh? Hello? Oh. Yeah, so then Da Nang will usually cop
I love you.
cop the I'm working with there's a little girl here in front of me here, so her carer, her mum, where's your mum? Your mum, oh, okay, oops. I think your mum wants you. Yeah. So yeah, Da Nang will cop it a little bit later in the year, so I've got a feeling that we'll get it as well then, but yeah, great time of year to be here.
Right here? What?
Da Vinci, do you think infrastructure could be better based on your observation given the murky weather conditions like Typhoon Yagi or the flash floods?
Mommy, it's mine.
Yeah, I think in Vietnam the infrastructure can always be better, can't it? I think some of the issues that they have in the Central Highlands and in the central part of Vietnam, where they get a lot of the typhoons around August, September. Yeah, no.
What?
I think she's going to. What's happened? There's been a lot of logging. There's a lot of logging that's happened over the years in those regions, and also a lot of development on hillsides and stuff like that. So obviously they're susceptible to landslides and all that sort of stuff. So when we were in Dalat, when was it? November last year, that was really obvious. A lot of hillsides have been sort of removed in order to put greenhouses in, or whatever, you know, the sort of the big industrial sort of farms for veggies and stuff like that. So you know, that area is very susceptible to all that sort of stuff.
Very slow.
In relation to Ho Chi Minh City's, I don't know, in parts it's below sea level, I believe. So there was a program that was getting built. There were flood mitigation projects going on. I think there was a Dutch company about 10 years ago that had taken on this project, and money ran out for whatever reason, and there's a couple of rather large project sites around Ho Chi Minh City that have been abandoned, and they were building basically locks to regulate the water flow in the canals and the rivers and stuff like that, and they've been abandoned. So I don't know what's happening with those sort of things. The other thing is too, apparently Ho Chi Minh City's got a lot of freshwater wells that people have dug, either legally or illegally, and so that has impacted on the stability of the ground. I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but they've drawn, over the decades, they've drawn a lot of fresh water out of, or just below the surface of Ho Chi Minh City, and so it's created sort of instability, and the city is actually sinking quite rapidly apparently. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do about that.
It's mine.
Oh, it's yours, not mine? Mine? Thank you. Matt, you haven't done a Sunday stream for a bit. Will you start doing them again? Yeah, I might. I did a stream about 3 weeks ago, I think, on a Sunday. But I just wanted to do one today, just, you know, off the bat and vertical, just to see how it would go and see whether I could capture some people in the morning at a different time slot as well. So, but I might do it on I might do some more. Yeah, I might. It's just a little bit of a process, that's all. I like to go to that cafe that I do it in District 7. So I booked that space and I need to get there. And also if I use my bigger camera, I need to set up. So it's a little bit of a process. So yeah, I might. We'll see. Da Vinci, I hope that answered some of your questions, or your question in some way about Ho Chi Minh City and the weather. Got to say, I'm pretty happy with this mic. I hope the mic sounds good for you guys. It's actually quite windy, so.
Phải một đường hết đi chơi được. Cái này không cần đâu. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, Daz. Thanks. Oh, that's awesome. Because the mic on this camera would have been picking it up.
Away. Cái mặt tôi này xong rồi cái mũi này. Anh đi học nào? Đi học thôi. Đi học này nè. Học màu này cho nó thấy đẹp. Ôi trời ơi đẹp quá. Đi học nào? Ôi trời ơi đẹp quá vậy. Đi xuống cũng chưa gì đẹp quá vậy.
Okay, that's cool. Thanks, Daz. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, these, as I mentioned earlier, these are just these little booyah. If anyone's interested in using mics for whatever reason, I don't know if you can see that. They're very cheap for a pair of these, and it's got a massive cord on it, and just clips here. I actually think the quality is better than my DJI mics that I've got. The first generation of DJI mics, which I've never really been happy with, to be honest. I think these give a much better quality audio. The thing is, I'm attached to a cord, you know, but I can make it a lot longer and I can stand way back. Stephen, how's the wet season going? I was in Nha Trang a couple of weeks ago. The weather was magic. Yeah, it's still magic, as you can see here. I'm in Ho Chi Minh City, and it's been like this for the past week or so. I can't even remember when we had our last rain. What's today, about the 11th or 12th or something? I think it's the 12th today. I think we had rain on the 3rd. Or something like that. So, and ever since it's been like this, beautiful mornings, but we've had a lot of strong winds, but it hasn't brought any rain with it. So just really beautiful weather. Oh, Nha Trang, nice. I haven't been to Nha Trang in a long time. Has it changed much? Are you a regular to Nha Trang? If you are, you've probably seen a lot of changes. I believe there's a lot more Russians there now. They're coming back. Now that they've got direct flights, or more direct flights that have opened up. But yeah, wet season. No real rain. I don't know if it's just how I feel every year, you know, about the rainy season. I always feel like there's less and less rain. But of course, having said that, I don't live in a vulnerable area. I live in an apartment block, as you can see, and so we're extremely protected from the elements, and especially especially when it rains heavily. If anything, we contribute to the flooding that goes on down in the canals nearby. So yeah, it might be a different story for people who live in those areas. Some of you might know that I have a little rain gauge that I check up there on the roof. Just over there somewhere. And so whenever it rains, I go and check that. And last month we actually had more than the average for the month, believe it or not. I think we had about 15 days where it rained after a slow start. So this is another very slow start for this month. But glorious. I follow a Facebook page. It's something like Vietnam Travel for Australians. I watch that closely, and some of the advice that I see on that is just whacked, you know, and people talking about how, you know, don't go to Ho Chi Minh City because you'll get rained out or flooded, you know. But it hasn't rained for 10 days nearly. Steve, I hope it stays that way. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Now Chiang is getting overrun with Russians, but they're not bad in general. Yeah, I've always found that the Russians up there in Nha Trang, they sort of stay to themselves. They do what they want to do, you know, go down to the beach, have a beer. Before COVID, it was all about getting fruit. You would see the Russians doing their final shop before they got on the plane back, and they would have the plastic shopping baskets and getting all the fruit. But yeah, I've never had a problem with them at all. Might be a little bit different in Bali with the Aussies though. Okay, Steve, you'll be back in a couple of weeks. That's cool. Nice. Yeah, I want to go up. I want to get up there. I need to get to the beach. So that pretty much sums up the weather at the moment in Saigon. Look at that. Pretty sensational. Yeah, it does. I don't usually go to Vung Tau for the beach. Haven't been to Vung Tau for a while either. I haven't been out of Saigon much for a while either. Love Vung Tau though. Love Vung Tau. Love going there for the food and for the bars and just obviously the sea breeze and stuff like that. I love that town. Great little town. Used to cop a lot of shit from people. But they were going there for the wrong reasons. I just think it's a great little town. I think the new airport will help it out a lot. I hope it does anyway. Perhaps people will fly into the new airport and then instead of coming to Saigon, perhaps go to Vung Tau or Ho Cham, along the coast there. Steve, if you do get up there, check out Bai Dai Beach. Okay, will do. Yeah, I don't know the beaches very well in Nha Trang. I had my 40th birthday in Nha Trang. There was a group of us guys who went quite a while ago, and we had a really good time. We stayed across the road from the Louisiane Brew House, which was very convenient, and we had a good time. That was back when, I don't know if you remember, Steve, but there was a mini sort of backpacker area in Nha Trang. So I'm talking, over a decade ago, there used to be a little backpacker loop, and there were lots of little bars, sort of like a mini Bui Vien Street. And so we had a good time. We would meet up at Louisiane Brew House. We stayed for about 3 nights, meet up at Louisiane Brew House for brekkie, have a brekkie beer, hang out by the beach, and then later on hit up the bars on that little strip. But it was already in decline at that point. I think Nha Trang had decided that they wanted to attract more Chinese and Russian tourists, and the sort of the backpacker trade, if you want to call it that, wasn't as viable. So a lot of those bars closed down, and there was that sort of switch over to restaurants and perhaps karaoke and whatever else that suits that demographic. Daz, the food is amazing in Vung Tau. Yeah, just stay away from Grumpy Old Man Street. Yeah, I know what you mean. I definitely know what you mean. And I try to. I try not to get too involved, but I like, as you know, I like to watch the footy. So, I mean, they're the places that you probably need to go if you want to watch the footy. I generally stick to myself though. You know, I'm not invested in anything that's going on, any dramas or otherwise that's going on down there in Vung Tau. So I usually go there for the weather like this and try and find the best food I can, because it is just a sensational town for food. I don't know. I can't express how good it is for food. And I'm not that into seafood, to be honest. I don't mind seafood, but it's all the other stuff that you can get in Vung Tau that's really impressive. Stephen, I've only been going there for 3 years, haven't seen any bar street. Yeah, so I think that street was sort of in decline, you know, a little bit over a decade ago. I can't explain where it was, but obviously it's sort of around about where the old centre of town was. And yeah, there was a bit of a loop. There were a lot of, you know, back in the day when, I mean, I backpacked through there in 1999 was the first time I went to Nha Trang. And so, you know, back then when people were backpacking and stuff like that, and there was no social media, obviously, these sort of little central hubs of main tourist towns were there, and the bars were centred around there, and the guest houses and travel agencies and stuff like that. And yeah, so then Nha Trang, I guess with Cam Ranh Airport being upgraded about 10 years ago as well, I think. Yeah, they started to focus on more Korean, Chinese and Russian tourists because it's such a big international airport. I think they still have the old airport in town, don't they? Have they done anything with that? Because the old US Air Force base was right in the centre of town. Is it still there? Righto, Daz, got your message. Yeah, that's it, Steve. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, the old Air Force Base. Okay, it's still there, so they haven't developed anything. Interesting, because it's a pretty prime bit of land, isn't it? I'm kind of glad they haven't developed it either, to be honest. I mean, Nha Trang's had a lot of development, like all of the cities. Oh, it's still a base. Oh, okay. They still use it, do they? I was under the impression that they didn't use the old strip that the Americans built. I thought it was just sort of a bit of a no man's land where people cross from one part of town to the other. I know that there's the Air Force base at Cam Run and the Navy base. I think it's a naval base as well, down the southern end of Cam Run. Da Vinci, they developed a few, especially along the Spratly Islands after the China conflict. Yeah, I sort of, I follow that a little bit. It's very interesting situation. A little bit out of my depth of knowledge, but yeah, I believe there are more and more islands getting, or bases getting built over there. Steve, the hotel I stay at is right by the base. Never seen a plane take off or land there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's out of operation. Has been for as long as I can remember. I think the first time, well, I don't even know, in '99, I didn't even know that there was a strip there. I can't remember it, but because when I first went to Nha Trang, it was by bus. So I don't know if I don't know how old the Cam Run, the new Cam Run International Airport is. They redeveloped it, I know that much. You guys might know. Lots of marching though. Oh, okay, must be a bit of a training ground still for that. I miss Nha Trang. Yeah. Keen to get up there again. Once I get my motorbike and all that sorted out and my license sorted out, I think I might do a trip up there. I'd like to go up via Dalat and then down the hill. All right, I'm going to stay on for another couple of minutes. I want to go and have a coffee. And then, I don't know what, there's a little bit of football on today I want to catch up on too. But look at that, beautiful. I just wish there was a beach nearby. Righto guys, so thanks heaps to all you guys that have joined me live. I really appreciate it, it's cool, and you had some really cool questions as well. Don't forget that you can drop questions in the comments of this video or in any other video that I've got, and then maybe it can sort of form the basis of a future live. Maybe I can do another one of these next Saturday. I'm pretty keen to just try and pin down the best times for people and stuff like that, and the best format. So yeah, it'd be good if you've got any more questions and comments or whatever, I can use that for the next live. Probably next week. I can do it next week. We'll see how we go. Old Dad Discover. Okay, I better hang around a little bit longer. Old Dad Discovers is online. Is in the chat. Good on you, Old Dad. Hey, thanks for that. I mean, I'm wearing the standard black t-shirt and I'm standing in the shade. Okay, so that helps, doesn't it? That helps. But trying to keep fit, and hopefully we'll get that pickleball game going pretty soon, hey? Old Dad discovers got the old man black t-shirt going, yeah. You never know, I might surprise you with a white one of these days, but I badly need to lose weight. Melanie, my wife, for anyone who doesn't know, she's going to go on a holiday for a couple of weeks next month, I think. So there's a good chance I probably won't eat for much of that. So it might make me a little bit slimmer. Might be a blessing in disguise, I think. Old Dad, that's happening this coming week. Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. I start stretching. Oh God, I don't know. If I was going to prepare properly, I'd probably need a year of preparing to play pickleball. But I'll tell you now, old Dad, that I'm not going to move from the spot. I don't want to snap an Achilles or do a hamstring or whatever, you know. I can handle doing a hamstring or blowing out a calf, but I don't want to snap an Achilles. That would just put me out of action for a long time. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to be like that. Maybe with 2 bats, just go like that, I think. And go for nothing over my head and nothing below my knees. Go. I'm starting to lose the shade. It might be a good time to wrap this up. So yeah, as I mentioned, if you've got any questions or comments or whatever about Vietnam or my channel or whatever, within reason of course, drop them in the comments section of this video or other videos. I've got another one coming. Well, I've got to edit it, don't I? I've got another one coming probably on Wednesday or something like that. So look out for that. That one's a bit more of a foodie one. I generally aren't that keen on doing food ones, but they seem to be fairly popular. I mostly aren't that keen on doing them because you need so many, you know, I've got the camera, I've got the mics, I've got this, that and the other. It's a bit tricky when you're by yourself. It's a bit of a hassle, to be honest, but look out for that one. The next one's going to be fairly interesting, I think. I hope it is, and tasty. All right, well, I'm going to go and have a coffee. Have a good day. Old Dad, hang on. We'll have to find the nearest massage parlour or emergency room for after pickleball. You know what? The new place that's opened up in District 7 here, or the old Tan Hung, it's right across the road from the hospital. So that might be the best thing for us to do, you know. They can just drag us over the road and into the clinic, into the hospital over there. That might be the best thing. The other option might be try to choose a place next door to a massage place. So that would be my preference. You look fitter than me, old Dad. I mean, you're older than me, not by much. We're basically the same age, but you look pretty fit. You look pretty fit for an old dude. So yeah, I'm expecting that you're going to absolutely smash me in this pickleball caper. I can't believe I'm playing pickleball, and I've committed myself to playing pickleball. Yeah. All right then, I better wrap this up. I'm going to go and have a coffee. Good to see you guys in the chat. I might do a live again this time next week after our pickleball session, and I'll give you the exciting rundown about that. All right, I'm going to hit the road. Hang on, Coconut Man. Hi, you haven't quite got the road. You haven't quite got the romantic DJ voice of Ali the bike guy. Who's that? But still, thanks for doing this live. Who's the? I don't know who the. Does he have a very special voice? Does he? Ali the bike guy. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, I don't know what accent is he? Is he Aussie? Is Ali the bike guy Aussie? Yeah. But Coconut Man, Ali used to live in Da Nang. Yeah, I think I know who you mean. There's another guy that I saw just this week. What's his name? Hello Brando or something like that. Hello Brando or Follow Brando. I saw a video of Follow Brando just the other day, and he's got a bit of a radio DJ voice. He's got quite a cool voice for this sort of stuff. Ali, every Sunday morning. Yeah, Da Nang's very popular, isn't it, with people at the moment? Very popular digital nomadic place for people. I know that old Dad is very keen on Da Nang. For me, I think it gets too cold. A little bit too cold for me in the winter. But anyway, Coconut Man, thank you. Thank you. I'll try and work on my romantic, sexy voice for you in the hope that I can attract you back to my channel. Coconut Man, pickleball question mark? Yes, I know. Yes, exactly, Coconut Man. You're exactly right. I never thought that I would be gracing the pickleball courts in my lifetime, but here we are. Apparently it will happen. I used to play a lot of tennis, and a lot of table tennis, so I'm expecting it to be easy. But obviously I'm about 20 years older now than when I used to play. So I'm expecting some physical fallout after it. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to hit anything above my shoulders, below my knees, or out of reach. So yeah, for the first one. Coconut Man, is Old Man thinking a fitness sport? I'm not sure. Do you mean Fitbit as in the, I'm not sure. Fitness sport. Oh, you'd have to ask him that, but I think part of Old Dad's channel is about older guys like us trying to keep fit and trying to find ways of getting fitter or staying fit without too much trauma. Because these days, sometimes just getting out of bed can be traumatic. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's pretty good, and it'll be fun to watch. I think it'll be fun to watch. I think it's a good idea for his channel as well. Or is it just for fun? Yeah, it's a bit of fun and it's a little bit of fitness, and I'm also supporting him with his channel as well. He asked me to, well, I hope I'm supporting. I hope I'm helping his channel out by being on it. But yeah, we're both similar age and looking for things to keep us fitter and perhaps out of the pub, although that doesn't seem to be working that well. I don't want to have kids on my channel. Let me just move. Okay, that's a bit better. Yeah, Old Dad discussed, there he is. So give him a follow. It's Abbott and Costello show. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just trying to find the best light here. This might be better. Sorry for moving that. Oh, I think you're talking us down a little bit, Old Dad. Hey, I think we're a bit more talented than Abbott and Costello. Hey? We'll see anyway. We'll see. I hope it just doesn't turn into an obsession. That's all. I'm not big on fanatics and stuff like that. I don't get fanatical about anything. Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't become a fanatical kind of thing and you ask me to do it, to play it every Saturday morning. Coconut Man, have fun. Do you ever walk around on your lives? I don't. I used to, but I don't because it gets a bit choppy. Gets a bit choppy and cuts out and stuff like that. Also, I'm mindful of people's privacy. I don't want to have kids on my channel, and I also don't, want to really run into any sort of issues with having my camera capture, either people who don't want to be on it or just in sort of, in their homes and stuff like that. Accidentally, but mostly it's about the connection, the internet connection. All right, guys, I better wrap it up now, I think. Thanks, Coconut Man, for joining, and thanks for your comments and questions. And you too, old dad, take it easy. Take it easy. Coconut Man, you live in the rough area. I'm assuming you're being sarcastic. Coconut Man, I live in a pretty nice area, as you can see. But you don't have to go too far from here to sort of get into the thick of very local communities and stuff like that, which I really enjoy, which you'll see if you go and check out some of my walking videos if you haven't already. I like to go into those neighbourhoods. People are super friendly and super curious about what the hell I'm doing there in their neighbourhoods. Yeah. Alrighty, I'm going to finally go and have that coffee. Thanks for joining me. I hope you join me again soon. Keep a lookout for my next live, maybe this time next week. Yeah. Thanks, old dad. I am actually. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. He's too afraid of dogs to do walking live streams. Yeah, I'd have to concentrate on too much probably, but it would make for some good viewing, wouldn't it? Getting attacked by mongrel dogs. Actually, it's not the dogs I really have an issue with, it's the owners. Owners who don't take responsibility for their dogs. But that's another story. Yeah, that's another story for next time. All right, take it easy, take care, stay safe, look out for those dogs, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, have a great day, have a great weekend.